Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of St. Margaret Mary, Where Are They Now? We hope you have been enjoying our series thus far. As we promised, this series would take you around the world, and that is holding true today, where we take you to India. And to introduce our guest today is our moderator, as usual, Mike Molina. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this next episode. From 1950 to 1986, our parish school, St. Margaret Mary School, was administered and staffed by the Salesian Sisters of St. John Bosco. And those of us who were privileged to be part of the school through that time encountered a group of wonderfully dedicated women who not only educated us, but made sure that our formation was just as important, understanding our role in the church, our role in our family, and how we can give back in service to the church and to society. A lot of the charisms that their founder, St. John Bosco, entrusted in them. And I think all of us who stumbled upon these wonderful women of faith will remember them fondly and with great thanks for what they gave us. Whether we were students in the 50s and we had legends like Sister Lydia, and in the 60s, Sister Regina, Sister Rita, Sister Shazera. Then in the 70s, we had Sister Emma, Sister Rosalie. These are just great ladies who influenced us, and to this day, we still remember. Well, there's no doubt that if you were a student or family in St. Margaret Mary School in the late 1970s and the early 1980s, we were all blessed with the presence and the personality of Sister Phyllis Neves. Sister Phyllis came to us as a young teacher and quickly energized the school and the students she met. And it really is a pleasure today to welcome you, Sister Phyllis, and have you with us for this time to talk a little bit about your time at St. Margaret Mary. So welcome, Sister.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
You, as Matt said earlier, you find yourself in Mumbai, India right now, and we'll talk a little bit later why you're there and why your journey as a religious has got you to the point that you're traveling the world. But let's go backwards a little bit and talk about the late 1970s. When was the first time you heard you were coming to St. Margaret Mary, Sister Phyllis? What were your thoughts?
I was excited, first of all, because I'm a Californian, and I had some experiences as an adolescent with friends in Lomita, and so it was kind of a familiar place. It was kind of like a homecoming for me. I already knew some people, had some friends there. I had heard lots of stories about the early days and the famous pastor who got everything going. So I was really looking forward to it. I was fresh out of the novitiate, so I had a lot to learn. But I was just really excited.
Were we your first official assignment after you took up your simple vows?
Actually, my second. I was 1 year in New York City because I was finishing my studies.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finished my degree, the next year I came out. So I was still pretty green. I was like, I don't know, 22, 23 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. So you come to Lomita, the school opens in September. What are your earliest memories of St. Margaret Mary School?
Oh, my earliest memories. Well, my very first year there, I was assigned to teach the 4th grade. And there were some really, really well-established families there who were very involved in the parish. And so I had this incredible parental support. Sister, do you need anything? Can we help you? Here's my phone number. Can I bake cupcakes? So I had this overwhelming sense of hospitality when I first got there. It was a big class. Those were the days of 40 whatever students still. And what was unique about that year was at the end of September, we had a field trip, I remember. And when I came back, I got the news that the first grade teacher was sick. And so I was moving to the first grade. And it's kind of fun also, that transition. And it was hard on myself and the kids. We were already attached to one another at that point. Many of the fourth grade students had siblings in the first grade, so we had this great war going on, sibling war about whose teacher this was. So it was a lot of fun. I just had a wonderful experience. It was a neat transition. I was really young. I was still innocent. For me, everything was new and exciting, so I didn't see any big tragedy. But it was just how I began shifting in the beginning of the first semester to kind of fill a hole that they said they needed a sister. So that was me.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And, I think as I look back at those years, I remember you and many other sisters made an effort not only to be involved in the school, but also make your presence known at the parish. How important was that for you in the convent to be present at parish activities and do things outside of just the walls of the school?
Really important. I think, sorry, got a little thing here. It was kind of a transition time where in the community itself, there were sisters who were more used to kind of separation of church and state, so to speak, to do the school and do your thing with the kids and then go home and check papers and get ready to pray. I was coming from a little bit of a different formation and a different experience. So I was psyched up to be involved with the people of the parish. So you remember when there was a chance to sing with the choir, I was able to be involved with the liturgy committee because I guess also for me it was this great learning time. I was just really beginning my journey as a Salesian sister, and so I was really open. This parish had so much to teach, and the people were, in a certain sense, they were accompanying my vocation in so many ways. I was learning more about how they were parenting. I was learning how people cooperated with the local church, how just so many aspects of church and family and school. And in Margaret Mary, that was a really united, how do you say, just, it was like this nucleus where everything was kind of just one: parish, school, families. We just had this sense of oneness and unity. We had the advantage also with amazing liturgy. We had, Father Joe was an amazing liturgist. The priests were really close to the people. So for me, I was really, again, excited. That was just kind of my nature in my early days, to take advantage and to be of service. I guess I felt this urge in myself to help wherever I could and to learn from that, to bring the best of myself and to bring those experiences back to the sisters, because as I said, it was a time where there was kind of not really a total comfort zone on the part of everybody, but we were learning how to be more involved in the local parishes in different ways. So for me, it was great.
And it was great for us having the sisters involved in so many activities at the parish. Even the early years of the Lomita Fair, you were all out there. And I remember the time that the priest stopped coming to your chapel so that you had your own mass, but instead the sisters started coming to the parish for mass, and we started on Sunday mornings and of course in weekdays. It was a time of transition, that's for sure, sister. And we were very blessed. At least our perception was that the sisters who were always assigned in Lomita were those that were open to that experience and to be part of the parish experience. And we certainly miss that to this day. You were also there, sister, for a transition of clergy too, right? I think you were there when, as you mentioned earlier, Father Joe Sartoris was assigned in 1978, and you showed up earlier than that in the transition from Father Cremens to Father Joe, and you stumbled upon, I'm sure, some wonderful priests at that time. What is your memory of the clergy that were assigned? Your workings with them.
Also really positive. Actually, when I arrived, there was an administrator, Father Keith.
O'Keefe, Father Bill O'Keefe.
Yes, it was like a transition time. And Father Joe came in October. He came soon after I arrived. But we had an opportunity to get to know Father Keith, who also was wonderful. The people loved him, and there was, I think, initially that hope that he would continue. But then when Father Joe came again, that was not a difficult transition at all. And I don't have much of the history before that in terms of an experience, but I remember this this incredible growth. It seemed to me, even in the community itself, and participating, whether that was lectors, choir, music, participation. Just felt this energy building during the time with Father Joe. Father Joe Holguin also came, was working with the Hispanic community. Father John Delaney?
Correct, Father John Delaney.
Okay, was also there, and again, kind of was catering also to, well, he was available to everybody, but especially, like, I guess the older people in a special way were feeling really comfortable with him. So it was a really nice mix. Together they did so many things in terms of how they, for the big feast, very often they can celebrate it. They started a time when one of them would preach all of the homilies one Sunday, so they would have time to prepare really well for their next homily. You could see every year, even with the preparation of the church for the big feasts, for the big liturgical times, how the music and the participation, the involvement of the people became always, just kept growing, it seemed to me. I know there was the renewal program that also made an impact, a large impact on the people, in the spiritual lives of the people, and it impacted their families in a big way. There were a lot of groups also when I was there. There was even a group for funerals, to make sure that nobody would have a funeral that was not assisted by even a small community of the faithful. The priest brought on board a counselor to help with families in need. There was just these priests, I would imagine, in their planning and dreaming, brought to life, with the help, I'm sure, of the parish council and lots of other people, so many things that brought about a very, very significant experience, but a climate that was, I think, unique in Margaret Mary. I've been to a lot of wonderful parishes over the years. I don't know if it's just because I was there 7 years and I have a soft spot, but I felt like I grew in my own vocation in so many ways. I felt accompanied by the priests. I felt very accompanied and encouraged by the people, the young people. For me, it was just a growth experience in so many ways, and it made me want to keep giving and giving and giving as much as I could.
So that's a great answer, sister. What because you eventually had to move on, right? Broke all our hearts when we saw you taking on your next assignment in whatever year that was, 1984, 1985, you moved on. And what would you say were the lessons that you learned as you left St. Margaret Mary
the lessons that I learned
that remained with you through the rest through the course of your ministry and the variety of things that you've done?
That, well, people above projects, that in all of the planning, it was always about the growth of the community, of the faithful. And so even the activities or whatever, it was about people. It wasn't about a show. It wasn't a competition. It wasn't so people could, take pictures and of the church at Christmas and have a nice postcard for next year. It was, I just had this sense that all of us together were really there for the people, and not just a group of people, but through the different activities and opportunities, we tried to reach, from the youngest through the religious ed, through the school. We had for the handicapped, for families, for just all kinds of spiritual needs that people might have in their journey of faith. There was given even a lot of priority to developing a good catechetical program, just liturgy. And as I said, I always felt, and I guess because I was inside of some of those experiences, that it was, the parish would be as vibrant as the people were on fire with the love of God. And the parish would be vibrant if we could help people to really grow in their faith, grow in their love and their families, just those really, really important values that make all the difference. It was not a place where people just showed up for Mass and walked away. People lingered behind after Mass and talked and chatted. I mean, but it was always about the people. And you could experience, you could touch the fervor and the enthusiasm of the people in so many ways. I used to love to open the kitchen window on Sundays, and I used to wash the dishes so slow. Sister Emma would say, "What's taking you so long?" Because I wanted to hear the choir singing and the other masses, and so I would hang out in the kitchen, volunteer to cook, or I'd take my time washing dishes to hear the choirs. Sometimes run out the back door to people if I could, if I had a chance. So for me, it was just, yeah, it was about the good of the people, formation, growth of the people.
That's great. Thank you. So you leave St. Margaret Mary in 1985, and I think from there you went to Rome to do some more studies. I think that was one of your stops, right?
That's one of my stops. Yes, I was there for 3 years to do religious studies.
And you came home and did formation work and worked with the training of young ladies who are entering the community. You took a variety of assignments. Ultimately, you became provincial of first the West Coast province, and then you were so good as provincial. Province.
Yeah, I did 2 terms, yeah, in each province. It's a nice experience.
You find yourself now you find yourself in Rome.
Yeah, that was kind of a unique thing, because I had participated in general chapters. I'd been in 3 general chapters, once as delegate and twice as provincial. And the time of election is always pretty intense for a lot of reasons. Anyway, this last chapter I did not go. I was elected as the backup for the delegate, but I'd already, gone 3 times, been through a lot of years of leadership, I guess is the best word. And so the sisters realized that, it would probably be a good thing to give me kind of a chance to experience a general chapter from home. But while I was not there, I was elected to the General Council. So I got the phone call
From Mother General.
From Mother General, that is correct. And the ironic thing is, I had a ticket to go to Rome that day. I had a meeting. We have an international volunteer organization. It's called Vitas. And I was on the executive board, and I had a ticket to go to a meeting that day. So I went to the early Mass in the parish. I was on my way back, and I got the phone call while I was driving back home. So yeah, and I didn't leave that day after all that, because my suitcase was packed for a 3-day meeting, and it needed to be packed for 6 years. So I left later.
And it's an interesting assignment, isn't it, sister? While we say that you're in Rome, you're really never in Rome, right? Your job is to be
Almost
what's
never.
called a visitor counselor. So you're always on the road, aren't you?
Almost always. I'm home usually June and July, sometimes a little piece of August. We have meetings with the General Counsel, with the General and the Council. And we meet every day except Sunday for 2 months. And then we all take out, well, those of us who are visitors, we all take off. And then we come back for the end of November. We need to be back. And then December, January, and then February, we leave again. So yeah, we're mostly out and about. There are other general counsels who do visits, but they're short-term visits, depending on who's working for formation, who's working for youth pastoral. So they do what we call visits of animation. But I am almost never there. That's why when you come and you want to connect for dinner, I'm usually on the other side of the globe somewhere.
And that's the truth, folks. I've been in Rome 4 or 5 times, and Sister Phyllis has been in Rome, and every time we send her an email, and she says she's at least she claims she's at least she claims she's out of. We've never seen her.
Yeah.
She's always
I'll
off
show
in
you
some corner of the world. So today you find yourself in Mumbai, is that right?
That is correct.
And how long have you been in?
Well, it's been interesting. I was able to actually physically visit 12 houses, 12 communities. This is a really big province. They have 33 communities in 4 different states of India. So when I was finishing house number 12, the mandate came for everybody to go in their house and lock the doors. I was in another state, so I needed to get back here, not knowing how things were going to go. So this is a provincial house. So it was a 16-hour drive from, I was in Goa to here. So I got here. There was concern that they would stop me at the border and hold me for quarantine. So I was a foreigner. But it was interesting because the gentleman, the border police looks in and I was the only one dressed in white. So I'm like, like a bright light in the front seat. And the border police looked right at me and he said, "Are there any foreigners in this car?" And the pair of the community said, we're all from the community. We're on our way to Bandra." And he goes, "Okay." But he was stopping all the other cars, looking inside, opening the doors, and the sisters were praying. So after we passed the border thing there, the sisters went, "Ah," and I go, "What? Why are you so relieved? Did you think that was not going to happen?" And they said, "No, we were really afraid that they were going to take you out and put you in quarantine.
Oh my God.
And you would have to go by yourself. We can't go with you." And the sister said, "You have to know that today all the sisters and all the houses are making perpetual adoration." And she said, right before, when I saw that policeman opening all the cars, I said to the Blessed Mother, "Just turn Sister Phyllis black," because they're darker skinned than I am here. So I don't know, maybe she did, because he looked right at me and he said, "Okay."
Well, the power of the habit.
Yeah, the power of habit, the power of prayer.
Well, we hope all the sisters are healthy and doing well during this very crazy time, and that you remain healthy, Sister Phyllis, and that your time in Mumbai, I know you love visiting the convents and the schools and the children, and this has been, I'm sure, a very unusual visitation that you're going through, but we hope that you remain healthy and always with that smiling face, because I know whatever convent or school you visit, you always bring that wonderful Sister Phyllis personality and love. So the Mother General chose well in asking you to travel the world and visit the sisters. And of course, whenever those visits can get you to Lomita, we'd love you to come back and visit your old friends like we did a couple of years ago. That was a great reunion we had.
That was great. Yes, that was great. Thank you.
So, sister, in these the final minutes, parting words, what would you like to say to your sister?
And he would say to who?
To your St. Margaret Mary family, sister. What would you like to say?
That I will always be grateful for those 7 years I think for me, it was a time of really growing up in my vocation. It was a time that I learned to appreciate so many things about education, about parish, about collaborating together with the lay people. Um, and I will always be so very grateful. So many people have kept in contact over the years through Facebook. Now I'm in the Instagram now. There's a couple India shots there just in case you need proof that I'm here. But to the priests who were there, to you, Mike, and all the past pupils who were so present, who kept loving on us in so many ways. I will just always be grateful for that very powerful experience of family. I think that Margaret Mary really is, it's a family, and it cares about everybody, and it finds a way to reach out to everybody. So I took that with me in a particular way, with all the other wonderful positive memories that I have, and all the people who still keep in touch and encourage and pray and remember. So it was probably one of the most significant formation times on my vocational journey. I think I came out of that stronger in so many ways, in my love for young people, in my love for my vocation, in a particular way, a love for what a parish is and the power that it has really to make a difference in the lives of the people that it serves. So you, Michael, also, you were a big part of that.
Oh, thank you,
And
sister. Thank you for being part of our family. You're always part of the St. Margaret Mary family. You know that, as well as all the sisters who serve at the parish are very, very important to all of us. And even though it's amazing that the sisters have been gone now, 34 years, you are still very much part of the fabric of our parish and of the school. And on behalf of the parish, I thank you again for those years of dedication. You're always part of our community, sister, and you're always welcome back. Being part of this video. Hopefully, many of your former students of the family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If I'm ever back in town, maybe we can sing another wedding while we can still sing.
While we still can do it. Thanks again. All right, Jim, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. We because of the time difference, it's late in the evening, 10 o'clock at night in India. So we really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I know people will enjoy this video when they see it. So we're praying for you, and please always feel free to come back.
Thank you. Say hi to your mom for me.
I will. Thank you. We hope you all enjoyed. Our series of Mary, where are they now? Don't forget to click on the subscribe button when you watch this. If you want to keep up to date on when the next video is released and you want to get notified, just click on the subscribe button. And thank you all for joining us. Join us again next time.